There are about 10,600 people in New Zealand prisons. It's the highest number ever, and it keeps rising. Now, academics and criminologists argue locking people up isn't always good for offenders or for public safety, and the government is listening. It wants to reduce the number of people in prison by 30% in 15 years. But don't the people in prison include fraudsters, thieves, drug dealers, violent criminals, rapists, sex offenders, and murderers? Yes. And that's why some say lock them up and throw away the key. But did you know the people in our prisons are also often victims themselves? In fact, more than 3/4 of them have been victims of violence. 1/4 of men and more than half of women in our prisons have experienced sexual abuse. And as many as 40% of men in prison and more than half of the women have a lifetime diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder. For them, prison's not always a good place to be because mental health issues can be exacerbated in confined, stressful, noisy places. And victims of sexual abuse can be re-traumatised by experiences in prison, like strip searches. There are also prisoners with traumatic brain injuries, which can cause a multitude of problems. 20% of prisoners have attempted suicide, and almost half have addiction problems. And roughly 2/3 of people in our prisons can't read or write very well and struggle with maths. And on it goes. They're disproportionately likely to have been under financial pressure. 55%, that's over half, were on a benefit before going into prison. And another thing, and this is striking, though Māori make up 15% of New Zealand's overall population, they make up more than half of our prison population. And after release, about 40% of Māori are re-imprisoned, compared to 30% of non-Māori. Why? Why are there so many Māori in prison? Well, the answer's complex, but colonised people have higher imprisonment rates almost everywhere. And Māori are more likely to live in economically deprived areas. Māori students are disadvantaged in the education system, and 15 to 24-year-olds make up about 40% of arrests in New Zealand, and Māori have a younger demographic. And also, Māori are disproportionately likely to have alcohol and drug problems. So, that's who's in prison. Should we throw away the key, or should we rethink our system?